Ivan. I'm Swiss born, Swiss German part to be exact. My wife is Armenian, and so now here you already see the interconnection why we finally came here to Armenia. I'm from a completely different business basically. I've never had a restaurant or a coffee shop before. I always loved food though, but this was the first time that my wife and we both worked in the financial sector for so long. We just decided kind of, okay, come on, let's try something new. Also there's basically have a financial crisis in Europe all over. And we thought that why not making basically a hobby, what we both happy for, why not try to make it kind of as a job as well?
My name is Kirk Wallace. I'm the programs director over here at Armenian Environmental Network. We are an environmental NGO. We've been here for on the ground for about a year and a half.
My name is Amit Gupta. I was born in India, but primarily raised in USA. And what I'm doing here is I work for a property development company here in Yerevan, and also at night I co-own a cocktail bar.
I was a teacher in Las Vegas in Nevada for 21 years, classroom teacher. I taught history and government, political science and history. And I just got burned out. I got tired of teaching in the classroom setting. There was a lot of bureaucracy and a lot of mediocrity. And so I was in contact with a former student of mine from the 90s, Ursula Kazarian, who is the founder and president of AEN. And she said, well, I'm starting work over in Armenia. Come on over here and help me get it started. And I said, okay. I'm on my way.
I had no idea about Armenia until I met my current wife in 2007.
My understanding or knowledge of Armenia was very limited, to tell you the truth. I knew it was a former Soviet republic. Of course, understood about the genocide in the early 1900s, but I knew very little about Armenian culture, almost nothing. My first impression was a false impression, I'm sure. The first place I set foot on really after I got in was Northern Avenue. And I was warned right away, this is not Armenia. And I said, oh, well, it's like, I thought I came over here to help, do some development work. And here I am in Northern Avenue. It says, it doesn't look like any development needs to be done. And they just laughed. And then I hit the villages, and I've traveled. I've hit all the Marses. And the real Armenia exists outside of Yerevan, for sure.
We are here in a real beautiful country. Very nice people. We can enjoy great foods, but obviously also this country does have, let's say, economical problems as well. We know that. There's a very high unemployment rate. And for us it was very important just to go from the very beginning on to make everything clear, to make everything straight, and everything 100% legal. There's definitely a lot of things that you have easier here, but there's also a lot of things that you have more difficult. So it has pro and contra, you can say, but we didn't regret it so far.
Starting a business here needs much less capital to start versus US. To start something here, like this cocktail bar here, will require 10 times as much capital as starting something here.
I don't want to make Switzerland bad at all. It's absolutely, it's a great country, great economy, great people, but you also have to see that let's say Switzerland doesn't come from zero, so the Swiss people work on that. Every day is a waking up and basically you work on this, that it stays like that.
I think anytime an American travels out of its own country, they develop an appreciation for how well we have it in our country, how easy everything is for us, typically. And I've just come to appreciate very simple things in life, and to learn how lucky I am to have, had things provided for me. And what I've really appreciated the most when I've come here is the fact that I have to live more by my wits, more by hard work and dedication in order to get ahead. And this is something that had eluded me for a while. I mean, I was on, we say cruise control. I was just kind of cruising through my old job. And over here, it's given me, I guess Armenia has given me a new sense of purpose, so to speak.
I mean, I've been all over the world and I've traveled a lot of different places. What I've learned is that whatever country you go to and live, You cannot have any complaints. You just have to blend in with the local environment and culture and go with the flow, I guess you can say. If you have a mentality of like, I need this, I need that, you'll make your life very miserable. Very miserable. So I just go with the flow and adapt to the local environment.
I have tried to study Armenian from the beginning on, but I have to admit, I speak like 5 languages, and yeah, but not really perfect. And here is exactly the problem. I start to mix everything now. I start to mix my little Italian with the French and with the German and the English and my little bit of Russian, and at one point I had to say, if I really want to learn Armenian, I have to concentrate. I really have to concentrate on that. And so far, it's still too many things going around that I really could concentrate on it. So, but who knows? Could be in the future that I will go into it. But with my broken Russian, I get pretty good well through so far. So yeah.
As I've gone through and as I've stayed here longer, I've met many people and I've worked with many organizations. And now, of course, the impetus to stay here and to work and continue to work is the relationships I've built. There are many really fine NGOs doing a lot of great work here, and it's, you know, as I've learned and met many people and worked with organizations, I've become invested in helping them and continuing the work. So originally it was a challenge and opportunity, and now it's you know, it's the comfort level of being with people that I respect and who are doing work that is very important.
What I like here is I definitely like the people. It's such a huge difference in some point to Switzerland. Switzerland are very nice. The Swissies are very nice people. They're rather a bit closed, especially the German part, but they're also very, let's say, with a lot of heart. But it's just the society is a bit more closed, let's say. Which here is different. People are definitely more open. On the first step is more friendly. How can I say? It's a different feeling. Maybe it's also the climate that can be. When you have in summer 40 degrees, people are just more open. If you have more like rainy days, like in Switzerland, then it's also it could be a change in that, of course. But I definitely like that, and oh yeah, I like the food here.
I do like the Armenian food here. I really, truly enjoy the food here, and ever since I've been here, I gained weight because of the amount of Armenian food I eat here. The things I don't like about Armenia is that the policies, the way things are done here in Armenia are still not being enforced, or they're not following the rules.
Armenia has some serious challenges. You've got antagonists on at least 2 borders. You've got you're landlocked. You have no access to water, and therefore you have limited resources. So how best to make use of those resources? What do you do with them? What's the best approach for a country of the size of Armenia? That requires really good leadership to make those decisions and to do what's best for the country as a whole, as opposed to a few families here and there. That's what I don't like about Armenia, is I don't think there's this long-term vision for what's best for everybody.
It could be that we would relocate in some point, but this doesn't mean that we would lose that as a base here. I mean, we have an apartment here, we have a house here, so it's not really that we would completely forget about it, but definitely we're not planning to leave the country now. Definitely not. So we still see also growing potential here in this country.
Ever since I've been here in Armenia, November 2000, I've seen some positive changes. It's small changes, but it's a good change. It's nice to raise a child here from like birth to a certain age, but most likely I would like to eventually settle in another country or even back in US.
The United States is so big. There are cultures there that are very similar to Armenian cultures. And some of the things I most appreciate about, for example, the Hispanic culture in the United States, very family-centered. And there are great similarities here in Armenia to that. And it's something I very much appreciated about the Hispanic culture in the United States. It's something I very much appreciate here. This devotion to family, this this family-centered unit, and it makes even Yerevan sort of one big family, and it's kind of interesting, and it's a very comforting feeling. You can walk down the street, and I can see people I know, and it's a big, nice community. I really like that about Yerevan a lot.
I really miss seafood. This is the only thing I really miss in this country here. Fish and shrimps. I know it's a stupid point, of course, but I'm a person who is very much into food, and I love diversity. I really miss seafood, and of course other things, but just one of those.
I would like to have a long-term relationship with Armenia, whether I'm wherever that takes me, and I don't know yet where that takes me, but yes, I've met so many good people here and made so many good friendships. I would really not like to lose those.